Yo, what's going on, guys? And supposedly Shams Charania on the rally says that the Raptors are expected to have some interest in a Zach LaVine trade. So before we continue today's video, let me hear your opinions down below, like and subscribe. What would that trade look like? Should they do it? Is it even worth it? Let's talk about it. So right now, a Zach LaVine trade to Toronto is actually a lot easier than you think. No, I mean, you could do Pascal Siakam with like Malachi Flynn, and that would probably get the deal done. But that's not what's going to happen, okay? They would want to keep Pascal and OG. Who would the trade be for? Gary Trent Jr. So it would be a package of Gary Trent Jr., all right? You would then probably package Chris Boucher, which gets you to $30 million. Then it's probably Thad Young and Malachi Flynn, which is 4 players, all right? It's not that bad of a deal. You give up Gary Trent Jr. for another score in Zach LaVine. You give up Chris Boucher. You can honestly switch out Chris Boucher and do Thad Young, Otto Porter, and you would just have to add then like Precious Achua and Malachi Flynn, which would be 5 players. But some combination of those players, what would you guys do? It's very feasible. I think the players that should be available are Chris Boucher, Thad Young, Otto Porter, Malachi Flynn, even though they're playing Precious Achua and Gary Trent. A combination of those 6 players, not all 6 players, I'm not saying all 6 players, but a combination of those 6 players should be in consideration to bring in Zach LaVine, all right, who you guys are seeing highlights of on the screen. And now, if we talk about Toronto, I mean, Toronto's, first off, I do believe that Mr. Darko Rajakovic would get this team to play ball, okay? That's the big thing. We need them to play ball in it. And right now, I have faith that they can do that, okay? Especially with a guy like Zach LaVine. And the Raptors currently this season, they're 5-7. They're the 8th best defense in the league. All right, they need a scoring punch. They're the 3rd worst scoring team in the league. They like scored the 3rd least amount of points, 108, but they give up only 110 points. So they're like in these games because of their defense. Right, to get 2-game losing streak. Run up against Detroit where they'll win that one, but they need to get a guy who can score. They don't have that. All right, I mean, they have obviously Scotty Barnes. And they have Pascal Siakam, who both for like 20 points per game scored. Then you have OG, who's a great 3rd option. He's making 16. Then Dennis is 15. Okay, cool. But then Gary Trent Jr. is at 10, bro. What happened there? I mean, like Gary Trent, what happened? And then you have Jakob 10. Then you got Precious Achua 7. Chris Boucher 7. Then 6 from Malachi Flynn and 5, or not even 5, 4 from freaking Otto and Grady Dick. It's not being great. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Would you guys trade for Zach LaVine? You guys need a bone of, like, he would be your leading scorer, and I feel like you guys would actually be a top 6 seed then with that. Who knows? Who cares? I don't know if the Raptors are gonna do it. They always like fake almost trade for team players.